Matt with Fox Airsoft here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what is an airsoft sniper rifle and why do you want to buy one. Now, airsoft sniper rifles are typically a great way to enter the sport. A lot of people like the aspect of sniping because they like, being quiet, sitting back and taking a longer range shot, and even looking at the target through the scope. All those are fun aspects and a very real part of it. Now, when getting into a sniper rifle, most sniper rifles operate very simply off of spring power. You're going to cock the gun with the bolt and then load your round by pushing it forward and locking it. So the nice thing with that is you don't need to charge a battery, you don't need CO2 cartridges or gas canisters for the spring type rifle. So very simple and very reliable for that reason. They operate very well. Now, with that, some common misconceptions with sniper rifles is thinking that you're going to have an enormous range advantage over your opponent. That's typically not true. While there are velocity differences at most fields, you might be able to shoot your gun as high as 500 FPS and have a minimum engagement distance. That's going to give you some added range, but you're not doubling or tripling the range of your opponent. You might get an extra 50 feet. Some of the high-end sniper rifles, maybe you can get as high as 100 feet, but it's not anything that's going to be crazy enormous. Now, the play style with sniper rifles is very different, okay? A lot of what's going to make you good as a sniper is not so much the rifle as it is you as a player. For that reason, I really enjoy playing that role because I like the challenge. The challenge is I have to conceal myself, get into a good shooting position without my opponent seeing me so that I can take that shot. Now, the nice thing about the way these things are operated is that that spring power makes them a lot quieter. So that means it's going to be easier to take that shot and not have your opponent hear that when you actually let it off there. Now, for our younger players, something to consider with a sniper rifle is it does take a good amount of strength to cock it. We typically don't recommend a sniper rifle for someone who's under 12 years old for that reason, because it's going to be a little bit too difficult for them to manipulate. Now, if they still want to play in the sniper role, though, what I would recommend is looking at one of the gas options. There are some CO2 options that don't require that, where they can still have the same experience of sniping, but without the strength required to cock the bolt. Now, out of the box, sniper rifles typically don't come with sights. They have a Picatinny rail mount on the top that's designed to put a scope of your choice on it. Now, the scope plus another accessory, the bipod, are the two most common that you see with sniper rifles. The scope is pretty obvious, where you're going to be able to magnify your target and have a way to aim. So you definitely want to make sure you're adding that into your budget when purchasing it. And the bipod's a great accessory to make a more stable shooting platform. Now, when picking a scope for your sniper rifle, they range starting typically at about $30 all the way on up. You can spend as much as you want. You want to look for something that's going to get you good magnification. Another recommendation I usually look for is to have an illuminated reticle. The reason for that is in a low light condition, you can still actually aim the rifle, which is a nice feature to have. Now, with sniper rifles, you want to use a heavier weight BB. A common mistake is using a 0.2 gram BB for a sniper rifle. I wouldn't recommend that, and the reason is because you're shooting at a higher velocity. That BB is going to be affected more by the wind and just the velocity it's going, making it less accurate. If you go with a higher weight BB, let's say 2.5, 2.8, and even upwards of 3.2 gram, you're going to have a much more stable and consistent shot. And again, remember, when you're playing the sniper role, you depend on making that shot the first time, so that should be a primary concern when you're buying your ammunition. Now, starting off, you may be asking yourself, should I go with an electric gun or should I go with a sniper rifle? And the reality is those are two completely different styles of play, and you're going to have to make that determination of what you really want to do. If you want to be more aggressive and constantly be engaging, an AEG is going to be a better tool for that purpose. If you're getting a sniper rifle thinking you're going to go head-to-head with an electric gun, the way you're going to get your advantage as a sniper is by sneaking, staying concealed, and taking the shot before your opponent looks at you. So take that into consideration when making your decision on which gun you want to start with.